Alright, so here's my quick little video on the RP5. I haven't really done a full review video on this because, well, the left stick had not been working until now. I finally got the replacement today. And that's kind of what the bulk of my review is going to be about, is about the customer service. Because you've seen a million reviews for this thing. You know what it can do. You know what it can play. You know all the different software options that it has. But anyway, I got one with a defective left stick. It was sticking to the right. You can see here's the replacement, or the old one that I replaced. So anyway, I contacted Retroid February 5th and didn't get contacted back until about February 10th. Now, it did say on their website that, you know, there was a Chinese holiday going on, which there always is. But the holiday was over on the 7th. So I was like, okay, maybe I won't hear back until the 8th or 9th or whatever. No, 10th. 10th is the first time I heard from them. And then my initial email was simply asking a couple questions. I was like, hey, is this a known issue? Well, first I described my issue, but then I was like, is this a known issue that might have an update that could fix it? Or do I actually have a defective joystick here? Instead of answering either of those questions, their reply was, can you send us a video demonstrating the problem? Like I'm trying to scam them out of a $4 or $5.45 joystick. Literally, it cost $9.90 to buy both joysticks. By the way, if you buy the pack of 2 joysticks, it also comes with 2 different size screwdrivers, screws, a spudger, and I forget, it comes with something else as well. But it comes with a whole kit of stuff to actually help you do these things, the replacements. Because look at these screw holes, buddy. No normal screwdrivers fitting into that teeny tiny hole. So it's a good thing that I keep all of my little tools that come with all the parts and pieces that I buy for stuff. The screwdrivers that I got with my Joy-Con replacement shells from AliExpress for $4. Those are the screwdrivers I used to fix the RP5. But anyway, when I first got it back in December, I got it right before Christmas, December 23rd. I was loving it. Now, granted, when I first get any of these things, I usually play a couple of specific games, one of them being Castlevania Symphony of the Night, to, you know, display the colors, test the audio. It's a game I played a million hours on, so I know what it should look like, I know how it should play, I know what it should sound like. That's usually my base test. And, you know, so I was playing a lot of games like that, like you can see the Final Fantasy remakes and Open Touch and things like that. And I was having a blast, but every once in a while I would notice the left stick would stick to the right. And I didn't notice it much because I was playing older games with the D-pad mostly. But once I finally started getting down on some dead cells over here, it was very apparent that my joystick was sticking to the right. It wouldn't stick permanently, it wouldn't do it all the time, but it did frequently enough to where I was getting killed in the middle of my matches, especially, you know, after 2 or 3 boss cells, you're going to get wrecked. So that's when I started emailing Retroid. And again, they thought, oh, he's scamming us out of a $5.45 joystick. It's like, dude, I've already spent over $550 on your product. Pretty sure I don't care about a $5 joystick. I was asking if it's a known issue and could be fixed with an update before I went ahead and purchased a set of joysticks on my own. So anyway, after they got my video, which I initially uploaded to YouTube because the video was too big, even though it was 31 seconds, it was too big to send in an email. I did find out that my phone could put it in a smaller format, and that worked in the email. But after I was accused of being a scammer, and I proved to them that I was actually having the issue, they hit me back, what is the 10th? Where's the dates here? I got my emails. Yeah, so they finally hit me up. It says, yeah, the 10th. The 10th is when I sent them the video, and the 12th is when they responded. Thanks for your video. We'll send you a new joystick for replace. Is the address the same as the order? Yeah, my address is still the same, so I email them back. Yeah, that address. And I also said, please let me know when it ships so that I can keep a lookout for it. Because I've got some not so reputable neighbors around here, and if stuff gets delivered to a wrong address, chances are they're just going to throw it away. They're not going to bring it to my house and leave it on my doorstep. So I wanted to know some tracking information. So again, this is the 12th that they said they would go ahead and send out a replacement joystick. And I kept on asking them for tracking information. Finally, the third email, I got a response back. It was the 21st of February at this point. Again, I had started my emails the 5th of February. 21st, they finally email me, hey, here's your tracking information. According to the tracking information, it had been in the mail since the 18th. So they had waited 3 days to give me tracking information. So I'm giving them 10 points for the customer service for actually making things right. They did actually send me a replacement product that ended up working and fixing the issue. But I'm going to have to take 2 points away for the absolute huge amount of time in between responses compared to any other company I've dealt with. And I have to give them another 2-point deduction for thinking I'm a scammer trying to dig them for a $5.45 joystick. And I'm going to have to deduct them another 2 points for not providing the screwdriver needed to do the repair on the unit, when clearly the $9.90 pack of 2 joysticks comes with a kit of tools and screws to do the job. So they have thousands of those things laying around, and they couldn't provide me with 1 screwdriver. So that brings them down to a 4 out of 10 for customer service. Like, there were so many problems from the 5th to the 21st, and until now, it took till the 27th. So overall, it took me 22 days to get this issue resolved over this little thing right here, just the left stick. And it wasn't the easiest either. When you take the back plate off of this, they've got these 2 little nubs on the left and the right side, right up here at the top. And this one on the right folded over when I tried to snap it back into a place. So I had to take it back off, snap that little piece of plastic off, and then it fit back into place correctly. Because otherwise there would have been a gap in the shell right here. And the other issue is down here, you can see the joystick and the speaker very, very close. Well, inside that is the same case. Each of these little modules, the joysticks, the speakers, everything, they all have their own little housing in there. And so they're fairly straightforward to remove. But when I was putting the joystick back, the bottom screw kept on sticking to the speaker because there's no plastic shield in between that screw hole and the speaker's magnet. So it just kept sticking to the speaker's magnet, so I ended up having to remove the speaker anyway, just to be able to put the joystick back in. Well, again, I was working on the left one, but it would have been on this side while I was doing it. So yeah, those were two little problems. And then once I got the whole thing put back together, somehow it stopped working. It wouldn't even turn on. And I tried it, I don't know, half a dozen times. I plugged it in, held the button, held it down for 10 seconds. I tried booting it into safe mode. Nothing. The thing was completely dead. And I had touched nothing to do with the power. Not the power cable, not the power button, not the ribbon cables attached to anything other than the joystick. And somehow I thought, we'll plug it in and see if it turns on that way, because sometimes these Android devices are weird like that. So I plugged it in, and while I'm holding the power button, I unplugged the USB-C cable again, and that powered it on somehow. That brought it completely back to life. It's working 100% now. So, yeah, the customer service is pretty bad. Again, they did do me right. They did give me a free replacement joystick. Of course, you know, now I got all these little blemishes and scars all around the lip of the shell because of the repair. But other than that, I'm happy the way the repair went, So other than that, all I have to say about this thing is, yeah, I agree with a lot of people that the joystick should be up here. Since this is going to be playing more modern games with the joystick, it should have been up here. But I've never really been bothered by that. I play PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo. Like, I switch between controllers all the time, so that's not really a big deal for me. But what I really didn't like is that they removed the HDMI output. With all these little guys, you could plug in the HDMI output up here at the top, and that would go out to your TV. And then if you're playing for hours and hours on end, you could also plug in the USB-C charge cable at the same time. And it'd be one cable in, one cable out. Pretty nice and convenient. With this thing, with only the USB-C doing HDMI output or video output, you have to use one of these suckers so that you can plug that in, and then you got this sucker hanging off the bottom and a big thick HDMI cable coming out of it going to your TV, and a USB-C cable going into it to charge. And that is a big bulky mess to be hanging from a handheld device. And of course, like I said, I play a lot of these Android games, like the Android version of Dead Cells. You can't use an extra controller because these controls are hardwired into the device. They will always be the number one default controller. So you can't actually connect a third-party Bluetooth controller to this and play Android games. So you can't play them on your TV without using these controls. So yeah, not having the HDMI output makes that a heck of a lot less convenient. Anyway, there's my rant about Retroid's customer service and the couple little pointers that maybe other reviews haven't talked about before. Peace.